Hello friends, my name is Ikansh and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about the n% and the castling rule. But before going to our topic, I would like to recommend you that please go and check out my previous video on how do the different chess pieces move. I will put the link of the video in the description box below. So without any further delay, let's get into our lesson for today. So first we are going to take a look at the n% rule. On the board you can see not all the pieces but the 16 pawns. Why is it so? Can you guess the reason? Yes, this is because the n% rule is only related to pawns, so we don't need any other pieces. So let's get into a rule for today. I am setting up the board from the white side only because just for convenience, because it is going to be the same for black as well. So let's get into the rule. So for example, I will play this pawn two squares because in the initial position, so it can move. Then the opponent replies something like this. Then you go one more square forward. So now your pawn is on the 5th rank. The number 5 is here and this is the rank, so we can call this as the 5th rank. So when the pawn is on the 5th rank, only that time the rule will work from the white side. If it's from the black side, then the pawn will should be on the 4th rank. So if the opponent plays two squares over here, so for example a pawn comes two squares, not one square but two squares beside your pawn. So now this pawn gets angry. He doesn't want someone of the similar structure beside of it. So it says that he will kill this pawn or capture this pawn diagonally, as it goes diagonally only. So it will go diagonally on the file of this pawn and this pawn will get removed from the board. So what happened? The black pawn moved two squares beside your pawn and it got captured diagonally by our pawn and this pawn went out. So for example, not this pawn moves but this pawn, it moved two squares over here. So now the pawn will capture diagonally on this file because the pawn has moved on this file. So it captures it and then this goes out. So let me show this on a real board. How will you experience that in a game? For example, I just played this move. Your opponent plays something like this. Then I go one more square forward. So when the opponent plays this move, immediately a ring should bell in your mind that hey, you're putting your pawn beside my pawn two squares. So now I can capture your pawn like this and see. Automatically this pawn went out of the board. Now what if he plays this pawn? Then I can capture it like this way and this pawn moves out. It's not like when is your pawn over, for example the pawn is over, it has already moved some squares, then you cannot capture it like this because it's not beside your pawn. So I hope that you understood about the n% rule. I will also show this from the black side. Let me load the board from the black side as well. Now I will flip the board. Yeah. So for example, the pawn, white played something like this, you played this, then he plays this, you again move forward, then he plays this, just for example I'm showing, then you played this. Now your pawn is on the 4th rank, as I said from the black side it's the 4th rank. Now if the opponent plays this pawn two squares, then you can capture it diagonally. For example this, then you can capture it like this and the pawn goes out of the board. And for example the opponent plays this, then you can capture diagonally and this pawn will go out. So I hope that you understood the n% rule clearly. Now let me remove all the other pieces from the board so that we can focus on the rule of castling. And the rule of castling only includes the rooks and the king. So I will again show you this from the white side. It's the same for black side as well, so there is no issues, no need to get confused in that. So the initial position of the rooks is the corner and the king is on the dark square over here. So all the pieces have been gone, so only the rooks and the kings are there and these spaces are open. What the king can do is, king is the king, so it can make rules for himself which will only benefit himself. So what it said is that he can move 2 squares at once, but only under certain circumstances, which is that if the king hadn't moved even once, then it can move 2 squares and the rook can come here, and similarly it can move here, and this rook on the queen side or the rook on the left side will go 3 squares this time. So the king goes 2 squares right side and the rook over 8 comes on the left side. So this is a special move for the king, not for the rook. So it will go 2 squares and the rook will jump over it. And for the rook on the left side, the king will again go 2 squares, but the rook will this time go 3 squares, 1, 2 and 3 over the king. But there are certain rules for this, and that rules, let me explain you. So the rules are, if the king hadn't even moved once, only then it can do this move. For example, the bishop came, it was here, then it gave this, it attacked your king. Now your king has to move, then the bishop moved again, somewhere here let's say, then you come back. Now you cannot do castling because your king had already moved once and then came back. Now for example, he played some move. Now you can not go here or not go here. Only 1 square is allowed, so you can do anywhere in one chance. And the second rule is that if you have moved your rook, then also you cannot do castling. For example, your rook went here and it came back. Then you cannot do castling on this side, but on this side it's still allowed. For example, this rook came here and then this came here. Then this went back and this also went back. Now also you cannot do castling on both the sides because both the rooks have moved. One more rule is that, for example, I place a bishop over here. Now if you castle this side or this side, your king will come under attack and black will simply capture your king and the game will end, you will lose. So castling this side will not be allowed. Same for this side as well, because the bishop is controlling this square as well, because diagonally it moves. So when you come here, your king will again get captured and you will lose the game. For example, the bishop is controlling only this square, not this square, so you can peacefully go here and castle. Now another rule is that, for example, I place a bishop over here. Now from here the bishop, what it is doing, if you want to go castling this side, the bishop is controlling this square, so the king will go 1 square at a time, right? So it will go 1 and 2, but whenever in this path the bishop will come, so whenever you step here the bishop will capture you. So that is also not allowed when the bishop is cutting the king's path. For example, there is a bishop over here. Now you can still not go because it will give you a check, and now again the bishop is over here. So if you castle this side, then still your king will be under attack and you will lose the game once again. So now let's say I place a bishop over here. Now you cannot castle this side because it's controlling this square, but you can still castle this side because the bishop is cutting the rook's path and not the king's path. The king can go 2 squares and then the rook will come 3 squares. It doesn't care about the bishop, only the king. So that's the castling. Let me show you on the real board as well how it will happen in a game. So this is a board. I will just play some random moves to get these pieces out. So just some random moves I'll play. For example, this is the position. Now there are no pieces. Your king didn't move once. Your rook also didn't move once. So now you can pick up the king, drag the king till here, and the rook will automatically move here. Now you don't want to castle here. You said I want to castle with this rook, and you start removing the pieces from this side of the board. Now you have removed all the 3 pieces from this line and the path is empty for the king to move. So in the next chance, what you can do, pick up the king 2 steps over here and the rook will move 3 steps over the king. Okay, that is fine. Now what if I play this move and then I move the rook once, then for example some random moves, then the rook will come back. And now also you want to castle this side. Now it won't allow you because this rook has already moved, and that is not allowed. So that's it for this video. Hope that you understood the concept very well, and I would recommend you to go through the video once again so that you understand the concepts in a better way. Please do like and subscribe to my channel and share the video with your friends. Your comments are the most welcome. Any feedback, suggestions or doubts in the comments box. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.